I'm sitting here, shaking, staring at my packed bag by the door. I feel like I'm watching my last 4 years dissolve into nothing but a cheap lie, and I don't even know where to begin. It's not the cheating kind of betrayal, but it feels deeper, more insidious, like a total violation of my reality. This isn't a quick read, so grab a coffee. I need to lay out the whole story because I genuinely don't know if I can ever look at my boyfriend, Mark, the same way again. I desperately need outside perspective on whether I'm overreacting or if this is the giant, relationship-ending red flag my gut is screaming it is. Mark, M32, and I, F30, have been together for 4 years and living together for 3. We always had what I thought was an amazing relationship, supportive, fun, and honest. We talked about marriage constantly. He was the one who encouraged me to go back to school, and I was the one who helped him launch his small business. We were a team. There was one constant, though, his sister, Sarah, F35. They are incredibly close. She's his best friend, his confidant, his business consultant, everything. I always admired their bond. When we first started dating, she was welcoming, if a little reserved. I thought, great, easy relationship with the family. The first seed of doubt was planted maybe 6 months ago, right after we had our first truly big fight about money. Mark had spent a significant chunk of our savings on a speculative investment for his business without talking to me, not even a heads up. It wasn't a malicious thing, but it was a massive breach of trust, and I was furious and terrified. We had a loud, ugly, tearful fight in the living room. It ended with both of us exhausted, apologizing, and promising to be more transparent. We moved past it, or so I thought. A week later, we were at a family dinner at his parents' house. Sarah cornered me while Mark was helping in the kitchen. She started talking about how important it is to support your partner's vision, especially when they are entrepreneurs. She gave me this pointed look and said, "It must be hard for Mark, having to justify every calculated risk to someone who doesn't understand the market." I was stunned. Not only was the comment incredibly rude, but the phrase "justify every calculated risk" was almost verbatim what Mark had said in the middle of our private argument. I felt a cold dread wash over me. I brushed it off. Maybe Mark had mentioned the topic generally. Maybe he just said, "Sarah, I had a hard argument with Alex about my business." That seemed normal. But Sarah kept pushing. She'd bring up money management or risk tolerance in every conversation, always framed as a subtle critique of me. Her tone was patronizing, like I was the naive partner holding her genius brother back. I started feeling like I was walking on eggshells around his family. Every time I saw Sarah, I felt scrutinized. I tried to talk to Mark about it, but he just laughed. "Alex, you're being paranoid. Sarah loves you. She's just protective. She doesn't know anything specific about our finances, she just worries about me." He dismissed my feelings so easily, labeling them as paranoia. I trusted him. I loved him. I let it go. But the feeling of being watched never truly left me. The arguments started to increase in frequency, or maybe I was just noticing them more. They were never about anything major, the division of chores, where to go on vacation, or a misunderstanding about a text message. Typical relationship stuff. But every single time we fought, the aftermath was strange. The emotional resolution never felt complete. It felt like the argument continued, not between us, but through Sarah. Take the chore issue. I was drowning in laundry and kept asking Mark to help with the rotation. He was busy with work, so I was patient, but after 2 weeks, I lost it. I told him he was being lazy and disrespectful of my time. He stormed out, we cooled off, and then we made a compromise. 2 days later, Sarah called him while I was in the car with him. She spoke loudly enough for me to hear snippets. "Well, Mark, I told you to just buy the damn service. Honestly, she sounds like she just needs to manage her time better. You work 60 hours a week, and she's complaining about socks? That's not a partner, That's a demanding child. I froze. I looked at Mark. He immediately turned down the radio and coughed, clearly trying to signal Sarah. He ended the call quickly and looked at me, pretending nothing happened. Ooh, Sarah is having a terrible day at work, something about her assistant. She was talking about our laundry, Mark, I said, my voice dangerously calm. She called me a demanding child. He sighed, put his hand on my knee, and did the classic emotional pivot. Alex, come on. You're twisting her words. She was talking about her own life, but she was just venting generally about how women can be demanding. Look, I told you I was going to hire the laundry service. Let's just drop it. It's always a crisis with you, isn't it? It's always a crisis with you. That phrase hit me hard. It was another instance of him minimizing my completely valid concerns and making me feel like the problem. I started to think I was too sensitive, too dramatic. He was so calm and rational, maybe I was the one escalating things. I started changing my behavior. I stopped bringing up small issues, opting for silence instead of confrontation, because the mental effort of fighting Mark and then dealing with the cold, critical judgment from Sarah wasn't worth it. I became withdrawn. Mark noticed, but he interpreted it as me being moody. Why are you so quiet all the time? Is it because you didn't get your way about the vacation? He asked after a minor disagreement about a destination. I felt hollow. Our intimacy, both physical and emotional, suffered. The person I was supposed to trust most in the world was creating a narrative about me behind my back, and that narrative was being fed back to me by his sister, causing me to doubt my own sanity. I felt entirely alone in my own relationship. The real shift happened around 2 months ago. We were planning a cross-country move for my job promotion. It was a huge opportunity for me, and Mark had initially been supportive, saying he could work remotely anywhere. But as the date approached, he became resistant. He didn't want to leave his city, his friends, or his routine. I kept reassuring him, reminding him he was fully remote and we could visit often. The resulting argument was the most heated we'd ever had. I accused him of being selfish and trying to sabotage my career because he was comfortable. He accused me of being controlling and not caring about his happiness. We yelled for an hour, and I ended up sleeping on the couch. The next morning, the argument evaporated. Mark acted like nothing had happened. He made me coffee, kissed me, and said, "Hey, about the move, I talked to a few people. Let's just stick with the plan. It'll be fine." Relief washed over me, but there was an unnatural smoothness to his resolution. It was too quick, too neat. It didn't match the level of anger we'd hit the night before. 3 days later, I was cleaning out the junk drawer and found an old, cheap phone Mark used for his business when he was first starting out. I was looking for a misplaced key. It was locked, but the screen kept lighting up with notifications. A text thread from Sarah was open on the lock screen. I didn't mean to read it, but the last message was a massive block of text from Sarah, and the first line was visible. "You need to tell her the move is a no-go, Mark. You're letting her walk all over you. She's demanding, and if you let her pull this power move now, she'll do it forever." My heart plummeted. I felt physically ill. My hands were shaking so badly I almost dropped the phone. I unlocked the phone. I knew his old, simple PIN, and scrolled up. What I saw wasn't just him venting, it was calculated, biased warfare. He hadn't told Sarah about my promotion. He had told her I was forcing him to move to a worse city for a lateral shift in my career, claiming I was doing it just to be near my family, not for professional growth. He described our fight, but he completely reversed roles. He wrote that I was the one who yelled and stormed out, and that he was quietly trying to reason with my tyrannical demands. The worst part was his final message to her, sent just hours before he had walked out to talk to me about the coffee. "I took your advice. I kept quiet and let her vent, and then I acted like it was my idea to accept the move, but now I'm pulling the strings. She thinks she won, But I've already told my boss I'm only working here for 6 months before taking a local, better offer. She'll have to uproot again, and this time, she'll know it was my decision. I just needed to look like the supportive boyfriend for a minute. I dropped the phone on the bed. The sound was deafening. My whole body went cold, and then hot, stinging tears blurred my vision. It wasn't just that he shared our fights. It was that he fabricated the narrative to turn me into a monster, so he and his sister could plot against me. He wasn't fighting with me, he was playing a long, manipulative game. He wasn't solving problems, he was creating a strategy to win. The feeling of betrayal was so overwhelming, it eclipsed the anger. I felt stupid, naive, and fundamentally misunderstood. All those times I thought I was overreacting, all those times I thought Sarah was just protective, they were all based on a lie Mark fed them. I ran to the bathroom and threw up. The sheer volume of lies was suffocating. Every apology, every compromise, every argument resolution, was it all just a tactic? I looked in the mirror and saw a stranger. I had spent 4 years with a person who didn't trust me, didn't respect me, and was actively working against my life plans while pretending to be my biggest fan. I went back to the bedroom, heart hammering. I started pulling things out of my closet, shoving them into a duffel bag. I didn't care about confrontation right then, I just needed air. I needed distance from the walls that were suddenly screaming lie and manipulation. I realized why the resolutions always felt incomplete. They were never true agreements between two partners. They were ceasefires in Mark's personal war, reported back to his commanding officer, Sarah. I couldn't breathe properly. I was hyperventilating, the noise echoing in the silent apartment. I had to get out before he came home and saw the discarded phone. I zipped the bag, grabbed my laptop, and was about to sneak out when I heard the key turn in the lock. It was him. Too late. Mark walked in, whistling some cheesy tune, a pizza box in his hand. He took one look at my red, puffy eyes, the duffel bag, and the old business phone sitting prominently on the bedspread, and his smile vanished. His face went from cheerful to defensive rage in a split second. "What the hell are you doing? Did you go through my old stuff?" he snarled, dropping the pizza box onto the floor. I didn't raise my voice. I was too emotionally drained for yelling. I just pointed at the phone. I was looking for the car key, and I saw a text. I read them all, Mark. Every single conversation you had with Sarah about me. He didn't deny it. His immediate reaction wasn't guilt or apology, it was pure deflection. "That's a violation of my privacy, Alex. You have no right to look through my private conversations." Private? You mean the conversations where you actively lied about my career, portrayed me as an abusive partner, and plotted to force me to move again in 6 months? That kind of private. Tears were streaming down my face, but my voice was firm. You didn't just share our fights, Mark. You created a toxic fantasy where you were the long-suffering victim and I was the villain, and you used your sister to gaslight me into believing I was the problem. He started raising his voice, playing the defense. "Sarah is family. She's my only support. She just wants what's best for me. I can't talk to you about our problems because you turn everything into a crisis, and you get hysterical. I had to find a way to vent." Vent? You told her you were going to trick me into moving twice so you could look like the supportive boyfriend. That's not venting, Mark, that's malicious manipulation. That's called a long con. I looked at him, and for the first time, I didn't see the man I loved. I saw a calculating stranger who used our intimacy as fodder for his victim narrative. "I'm leaving, Mark." "Don't be ridiculous. Where are you going to go?" "Stop being hysterical, Alex. I'll delete the phone. I'll block Sarah. Just put the bag down. You're making a scene over nothing." He tried to grab my arm, and I flinched away violently. "Don't touch me. You taught me that every time I thought I was crazy, I was actually right. You've been lying to my face for months, creating a completely false reality just to get your way." I grabbed my bag. You don't just betray a person once, Mark. You betrayed our entire relationship. I don't know who you are, and I need to figure out who I am without your lies clouding my judgment. I walked out of that apartment 3 hours ago, and I'm currently sitting in a hotel room near the airport, staring at the ceiling. I texted my best friend, Jane, and she's flying in tomorrow to help me figure out my next move. The silence here is deafening, but it's a freeing silence. I'm starting to replay all the paranoia moments Sarah orchestrated, the pointed comments about budgeting, the subtly condescending remarks about my choice of friends, the constant implication that I was too emotional. It all makes sense now. She wasn't an intuitive, protective sister, she was a co-conspirator. Mark has sent me about 4 to 7 texts. They range from furious accusations of invading his privacy to sobbing apologies and promises to go to couples therapy. He keeps using the word hysterical, and telling me I'm ruining my career opportunity by walking out over a misunderstanding. The gaslighting is relentless, even via text. The worst feeling is the fear that I might go back, not because I love him, but because of the 4 years we built. The comfort of the known is terrifyingly strong. But then I remember his exact words, "She thinks she won, but I've already told my boss I'm only working here for 6 months." That cold, premeditated deceit breaks my heart all over again. I was planning my future with a man who was simultaneously planning how to trick me. I feel like the relationship didn't die in a single fight. It was slowly poisoned by a third party with Mark's full consent. It was never truly private, never truly safe. The foundation of trust is completely decimated. I don't think I'll ever be able to have an argument with him again without wondering which part of the script he's reporting back to Sarah. What do you think? Should I stay or leave? I feel like the level of manipulation is too great to ever recover from. If you were in my shoes, what would you do?